All right, so we're going to get started. I know there's some people out there. Hopefully they can hear me and they come in. All right, so here's our agenda. This is the SecDSM 101. This should hopefully be short. Sometimes it takes longer just because we ramble. I don't know. We'll see what happens. After that is going to be the news with James Beal. Hopefully he can hear me because he'll have to come in here to do that. And then at 7, Kevin White is going to do a talk about the mini CTF from last month. And then after that, Trevor is going to talk about hacking garage doors. I mean, I'm sure that's why everybody's actually here, so that's pretty cool. After that, we have this space officially until 9, but they don't close until 10. So technically, you can hang out until 10 o'clock. All right, housekeeping. So you are here, that star. There's a lot of cool stuff. There never used to be a rope over there, but it's all expensive equipment. Don't touch any buttons or anything. If you're in this room, we just ask that you keep it quiet and listen to the speakers. And if you want to talk and be loud, that's what the kind of lounge area out there is for. There are 2 bathrooms, and then our wonderful sponsors have a table out there. All right, disclaimer, we are technically rated R, although nobody but me ever swears, and I only do it because we're rated R, and I feel like somebody has to, so now we can say the fuck word if we want. Code of conduct. So, that being said, there is a code of conduct. We're very, very serious about it. If you haven't read it, please go and read it. It is very important that even though we are rated R, we're rated R within the bounds of our code of conduct. Oh, and 0 tolerance. This is a new slide. All right, bar staff. So just a reminder, blah, 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 don't get too drunk. You're here with people that you either work with now or may work with in the future, or I should say, may not work with in the future if you drink too much. That being said, we do have Uber vouchers available to you. So this is something new that we just started. SecDSM is paying for these. Anybody can get an Uber, $30 here and $30 home or to wherever you're going after this. This is the info for how to do it. It's also in Discord. We're going to do this every month. It's going to be a different link and a different code each month. So this is the one that's good for this month. So next month, if you're thinking, man, I wish I could add one more old-fashioned or something, you can get an Uber home. Challenge ideas, not people. We're usually pretty good at this, but just a reminder, we're all good people. Sometimes we disagree. That's cool. Challenge the ideas, not the people. Who's the board? So I'm there in the middle, and then Colin's there on the end and in the front row. Brandon Murphy is coming today, I think. He said he had like softball or something. I don't know. I heard all the softball got canceled because it stormed, but I don't know. He should be here later. It helps to not have kids, then you don't have things like softball. All right, shout out to our volunteers. James does the news. Jared makes sure you can hear me. Jake often does the CTF stuff. I don't know where he's at right now. He's back there somewhere. And then Kenny often comes and helps with the AV stuff. That's cool too. If you want to help, you can also come help. You do have to get here pretty early if you want to help with the setup these days. Like, we've got it down pretty good, so it happens pretty fast. But otherwise, we are always looking for volunteers. But the ways you can volunteer the most, here are the top 2 things. You can write a CTF so that it's not crazy hard, or I guess you could make it crazy hard if you want. That's also cool, but you don't get to complain about it unless you wrote it. And then also, we need speakers. That's the other big thing. So we usually try to do 1 or 2 speakers. We're trying to allow a lot of time for socializing and stuff like that, but we also want to keep true to that, having a presentation about cool topics, stuff like that. So Colin wants to say a few words.
So there's been ideas thrown around too. It doesn't have to be like a traditional conference talk. If you have like a panel or something you want to do, or you want to do like speed running, building a computer or something up here, totally within realm. Anything goes, right? Yeah.
So speaking of, did you watch that video where Superman builds a PC? Have you seen that? The video where Superman builds a PC? Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know. It's on YouTube. You can Google it. All right. Thank you to our. So this is a shout out. Yeah, cool. So there are these things called. We need to update this, right? Because we just sold another one. Oh no, Zscaler was the one. All right. So you're in a distillery. If you look around you, you might see some like barrels of like really good stuff. Well, if you or your company would like to purchase all or part of one of these barrels, you can get your name on this slide. So that's what this is. So thank you to these people. It's really great. We have a really cool deal worked out with the Foundry where essentially you buy barrels, we get venue space for free. It's really awesome. Plus you also just get a lot of booze and it's really good. I don't know, who was here for the Zscaler one last time? That was good bourbon, wasn't it? I really liked that. I wish I won a bottle. I didn't win one. All right. Transparency report. So today, space is provided by SecDSM. The food is provided by Casey's. Thank you very much. On that note, I will just say we love Casey's, but their labeling of pizza boxes is not the best. So don't trust what may or may not be written on the boxes. Open the lid, and the little one is gluten-free. So if you need gluten-free pizza, there is a small cheese gluten-free pizza up there. Otherwise, drinks and sponsor tonight is Recorded Feature. Make sure you talk to them. They're at the table out there. Otherwise, the rest of all of our financial stuff is on Open Collective. Anybody can go and see everything. Mini CTF. Is there a mini CTF? There is a mini CTF. Go to Discord and look for it. 2 people have solved it, but you can also solve it. 30 minutes. I believe it does give you a warning if you try to download it, which is cool. I think all CTFs should do that, right? All right. Other events and cons. This is really cool. A lot of us go to different cons and stuff like that. Sometimes we'll share rooms. We'll carpool a lot of stuff to keep the cost down. Hit up the channel in Discord. The channel in Discord. I know, I'm ashamed. I said the S word. Anyway, there's lots of cool stuff. We go to a lot of things. Although, Circle City, they are doing virtual, right? Just this year. Virtual only. This is it. Then they're gone. Sandbar Con is in the Discord channel, and it's happening in June. Some of us are going to go, I'm going to use this word lightly, canoeing. It's going to probably be a lot more floating, possibly some beverages of your choice, and then we're going to hang out at a sandbar, and then when I say canoeing home, it's going to be like a 30-minute to our car and leave probably. But yeah, that's on Discord also. Speaking of, that's how you can get there. I always forget these slides. We should change the order of these. We talk about Discord a lot. This should be up at the front. Anyway. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, so there's our Discord. You can join it. I am not going to spoil the first news slide, and I'm going to instead bring up James Beal.
Thought Colin was sneaking up here to talk about me again. Speaking of which, we haven't had a slide in here in a while, but the Hobbies channel, we just did when Colin's not talking about ruining his car every other week by blowing the oil out and then driving the car with the new engine back to the spot where he blew all the oil out and threw the rod through the engine the last time. The Hobbies channel has activities going on, and the Events and Cons channel. I don't know how many people are in each of those versus general, and we try not to bomb general at those. So if you're looking for conference information, the Events and Cons channel, a lot of activities. There's vendor stuff in there. There's some vendor things going on. My company and several others are sponsoring a vendor event next week. So check the Events and Cons channel for that. And then the Hobbies channel, we just did a range day. We haven't done one of those since 2019. We actually had 14, 15 people show up and had a great time up at Butch Olufsen Range. So I will arrange another one of those in probably September or October at the latest. So if you're interested in that, please come join us. Oh, yes, and we did talk about archery. So there's an archery range. There's a brand new archery range if you have a bow or a compound bow at Saylorville Lake. And then there's a couple others like at, trying to think of what's the lake in West Des Moines that has an archery range. Raccoon River does as well. So look for that on the Hobbies channel if you're interested. Am I not Yeah, because I'm not loud enough the way it is. Let's yell into the microphone. All right, news slides. So some big events this week. I actually had to go through and pick a few things. So if you're into security news or security threat intel, it's definitely been a busy week for attacks and breakdowns and things like that. This big one happened, I think this was just yesterday or this morning that this was announced. So the title has Russia calling us out. Essentially, Kaspersky detected activity they're calling Operation Triangulation that they're claiming is a APT group that attacked iPhones with a essentially 0-day, like, $1 million if you reported it to Apple, 0-day that requires no user interaction. Russia FSB turned around and decided, because they're not involved with Kaspersky whatsoever. Kaspersky swears, they're an independent company and they're not involved with Russia. But at the same time, this came out like an hour later, Russia FSB came out and claims this is the United States. So they're claiming this is the NSA using a 0-day to get in things. So if you're interested in that, go take a look. The article's pretty interesting, and this is literally breaking news that just happened. And then another big one, Matt DePape, who's over from Iowa City and comes here to visit and gave a talk a couple months ago, actually posted this to Discord today, so this just came out today as well. There's a Move It transfer. It's essentially an FTP software, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, managed file transfer solution that got popped, and there's attackers using that one, so go take a look at that one as well. That's some pretty interesting research that's out there. And then there was actually verified Twitter accounts got pushed, and it actually impacted the stock market for a little while. But there was fake images used with, they believe, AI generation tools that were reasonably obvious if you took a close look at the metadata and that type of thing. But it actually was pushed out enough that these fake Pentagon explosion pictures came out and screwed with the stock market. I think this was like a week or two ago. And then, in the surprise of no one, in the open app store that is the Android phones, another piece of spyware was out there and has actually been detected that it's been installed at least 421 million times. So that tells you, A, how many Android phones are out there and how bad the Android store is. So, your opinion, but I might go with work phones as an Apple phone at this point. And then a couple quick hits. So we had a literally perfect, horrible example of an insider threat. So if you do security awareness and you aren't aware of this, you should share this with your companies. This dude over in the UK named Ashley Lyles actually got busted for this back in 2018, but has now been arrested and prosecuted and everything. What happened was he was on the security team, was involved in a ransomware attack, decided to use his insider security team access as part of the incident response team to copy a bunch of emails from his company's CFO and get his CFO to route the ransomware payment that his company was putting through to his bank account instead of the ransomware attack. So, yeah, what? Yeah, it was to his Bitcoin wallet, right? Yeah. So awesomely smart and stupid at the same time. So it's a great story. So if you do security awareness, phishing training, anything like that, this is your perfect instance of a security analyst abusing and using his rights to do bad stuff. On top of that, then we have North Korea. As we all know, North Korea is one of the top 4 APT groups out there. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea are the big ones. North Korea is usually going after cryptocurrency. And in this case, the U.S. put sanctions in. So the only thing really we can do from a government perspective is put sanctions. Usually it's the Department of Justice. I believe this one was on the financial side. I can't remember the organization that did it off the top. But this is essentially North Korea's getting people to work at other companies and steal money from those companies to fund attacks. And then finally, Microsoft 365 phishing. I did a write-up, so if you care, I did a write-up out there that's on Medium on this. Microsoft phishing attacks. There's a new attack. There's this RPMSG service tool that Microsoft has built into Microsoft 365 where you can send encrypted, restricted messages that require you to sign into your Office 365 account with your creds. These guys are using this for phishing. They're actually sending these encrypted messages because they'll bypass your email filters like Proofpoint, Mimecast, things like that to get this in because it's a built-in Microsoft encrypted attachment that then has you go through multiple steps, and at the final step, they're phishing all of your information. They're pulling a bunch of info from your browser, and they're trying to pull your Microsoft 365 cred. So another, if you do security awareness or phishing, that's a good one to take a look at and see how it's done because it's actually quite interesting research. And then to finish up, we always like to throw the opportunity for jobs out there. So if you are a hiring manager or you work somewhere that's looking for somebody, come up, let us know who you are, what you're looking for, and how to contact you. Anybody? Nobody? All right, there we go. Somebody's got to have a job open in our negative career field.
Or is he going to the bathroom?
Yep. Yes, no, maybe? All right.
Hi, I'm Austin Sauls. I don't have a job opening, but I'm looking for a job. So I've got a couple of years experience as a sysadmin and kind of getting into AWS cloud now. So if you have a job opening, talk to me.
Perfect. Thank you. That always takes guts, so we appreciate that. We try not to interview you on the spot. Anybody else? Going once? All right. I won't make Craig give everything out, so is this updated?
I have no idea. I didn't make these this time.
Yep. I don't think this is updated. This looks like last month. So again, we usually start at about, yep. I mean, you could still give Matt crap about giving another talk. So, I mean, we did that last month too. So,
2 months ago.
yeah. Is that 2 months ago? All right. So we do the 101 at 6:30, 6:35, 6:40. You got to hear from me do the news. And then we start off with the first speak. So probably take 10, 15-minute break. Go get some more pizza if there's any left or another drink, and we'll call it good. Thanks, everyone.